This is Daniel Bryan, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
This is Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
This is Brett the Human Hart, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Aw, yeah. Welcome to Wrestling Uncensored. I am Dave Simon, Johnny North, right here with me, with you, every Saturday night talking professional wrestling. WrestlingUncensored.net is our website for everything Wrestling Uncensored, everything Ringside Report Radio. I know a lot of people were wondering about the YouTube channel this week. Where was Dave and Johnny live? Well, it was a scheduling issue. No Dave and Johnny live this week, but don't worry. YouTube.com/RingsideReport.net, YouTube.com/RingsideReport.net. This Friday afternoon, we will be back with a brand new episode of Dave and Johnny Live. Fridays around noon, we go live on our YouTube channel, and we'll be back this Friday. Took a brief hiatus this week, but we'll be back. But of course, Wrestling Uncensored here with you every single week. And we just watched the WWE Super Showdown from Australia. Went down at 5 a.m. Johnny and I didn't watch it at 5 a.m. though, right? We watched it a little bit later, but we watched the WWE Super Showdown today, and I don't know about you, John, but I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed the Super Showdown. It was a long show, but recorded. You could skip over some of the entrances and little video packages and commercials that they have, and I was entertained.
I thought the AJ Samoa Joe match was really good. And Undertaker Triple H was better than I thought it was going to be. But besides that, was it really that good of a show? I don't think so.
I don't really. You didn't think it was that good? Well, on 10, what do you give it? I'd say it was a good 6 or 7. I enjoyed it. 4.
Yeah. It was a glorified house show. That's all this was. A lot of the matches didn't really mean much. It just felt like it was phoned-in performances from a lot of the guys. It's very unfortunate, but that's what it felt like.
What about AJ Styles and Samoa Joe? That match was fantastic.
That's an exception. That in the main event. But everything else, it just felt like you see it almost every week on Raw or SmackDown. And it felt like less because we've seen these matches time and time again. It really felt the effort wasn't there. Becky and Charlotte, usually that's hard-hitting. I'm sorry. Like, they really were not hard-hitting whatsoever. A lot of the shots were very weak. And it just felt like they were going through the motions in a lot of these matches. The John Cena match, that was probably the worst part of the whole show. God awful. And Kevin Owens is in it. I'm pissed. I'm really pissed. I thought the show was terrible.
Wow, I'm surprised. Maybe it's because the main event was so good, I feel good about the show. Triple H and Undertaker,
right? I
thought had a fantastic match.
And it helps, too, when the main event delivers. You're like, oh, that's not that bad of a show. But you look back on it, especially the 4-hour plus, you're like, wow, this was really bad. It didn't start great. New Day versus The Bar. I mean, we've seen this time and time again.
Yeah, that match was pretty simple. New Day defending the SmackDown Tag Team titles. 9 minutes, 9.5 minutes. New Day beats The Bar. And it was very standard, like any match you'd see between these two teams on SmackDown. There was nothing special there. And there was nothing special in a lot of these matches. Like, I understand what you're saying. Charlotte Flair beating Becky Lynch by disqualification. The finish was terrible there.
Terrible. So bad.
The finish to the New Day match, though, you were saying, that was really cool. The
move.
The move that they have there where Woods hits the, what do you call it? The backstabber.
Yeah.
And then Kofi comes off the top rope with a double stomp on the guy. That was pretty sweet.
That was the only good moment of the match that really stood out. Everything else was just, well, we've seen this probably a million times already.
Yeah.
It just felt like a normal match. The intensity really wasn't there in a lot of it. They might show it in their faces, but in the actual strikes, it wasn't there. It was in the AJ Samoa Joe match, yes, very much so. But everything else, not really. The Iconics match, wow, was that bad. Really bad. And they're the hometown team.
Wow. You're hot right now. You are just on fire.
Man, I have to watch 4 hours plus of this, and they can't deliver. I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to tell you that I'm pissed.
Really?
Yeah.
We had a good time watching it, though.
It helps when you watch it with friends, yes, but imagine if you watch it by yourself. You're like, wow, this is very depressing. Wrestling sucks.
I guess so. I want to stick with some of these matches here. What do you think they do with the New Day now? Like, New Day, they defend the tag team titles against the Bar. It's a pretty decisive victory. The Bar has no reason to come back and get a rematch. Other than the Usos, I guess they'd be the obvious choice, but I feel like WWE's done that so many times. New Day and the Usos, New Day and the Usos, that at a certain point they might not want to go back there. Do they have to go back there right now? I can't figure any other tag teams currently on SmackDown that would be next for New Day other than the Usos. Like the Bludgeon Brothers, one of them's hurt, right?
Right, Eric Rowan.
Yeah. Who else is on SmackDown as far as tag teams?
You do have the club. Like you said, the Usos.
Yeah, but I mean, where are they? They're barely around.
What it's going to take right now is multiple teams. It's going to be like a 4-team match, whatever, and they probably won't even eat the pin, but they'll lose the titles because of that. It's come down to that because they've pretty much beaten everybody, like you said. Maybe the Usos, but we've been down all this road before with the New Day. It's all been done. It's
a situation, once again, like every time we talk about the New Day, I feel like we go to the same place. The New Day is so good. The New Day is so beyond the tag team division, the tag team championship. They need to elevate. They need to do something more. But then we have this Super Showdown. It's a big card. They're on it. They win. They defend their titles. But it's a really unremarkable part of the card where the New Day is a strong act that they could do way more with. I mean, wouldn't you have preferred Big E challenging for the U.S. title against Shinsuke Nakamura rather than just your everyday New Day versus the Bar tag team match?
The thing is, Nakamura's not really doing anything right now. He's kind of like stuck in this Randy Orton thing.
Is he? What's going on there?
It's weird because it happened again. Or no, it happened like the week prior, right, with Dillinger and Nakamura.
Yeah.
And that seems to be all Nakamura's doing is Randy comes out and attacks his opponent, so then Nakamura has nothing to do. So I don't find there's any direction right now with Nakamura. And this is a problem too where you have no pay-per-view for the guys, not until the November. So you have time to build stuff up, but I don't think Big E, that's going to be the case for him because they seem to be focused so much on New Day being in the tag team division that them as single guys, it doesn't seem to happen.
Yeah, it's like not even anywhere near being in their plans.
I mean, maybe you'll see the singles match like you saw Sheamus versus Big E, but that all was to set up the tag match that we just saw. So that's all you're going to get, unfortunately. As long as they're tag team champions, they're going to just keep on that storyline.
And I guess that's where we're headed with the New Day. No real clear direction of anything major. And like you said, John, the next pay-per-view, the next big event from the WWE will be the Women's Evolution show, which takes place in about 3 weeks' time, October the 28th, the all-women's card. And then it'll be WWE Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. So they're really filling the card with a lot of these special events in foreign countries. It's we have this big show in front of 60,000 plus in Australia at 5 a.m. on the WWE Network. Then they're doing Women's Evolution. That'll be in the States. And then they're back abroad in Saudi Arabia November the 2nd for the Crown Jewel.
It's funny if you like these special events, but I find it's just really tolling on the fans to watch all these shows all the time. It's a lot of wrestling, and unfortunately, a lot of it doesn't even matter.
I don't know. I mean, this was the only real pay-per-view that WWE's giving us in October. It's not so bad.
What are you talking about? Like, Evolution is going to be in October?
Yeah,
that's not
but
real
that's
pay-per-view?
No, that's like the women's show, and that's at the end of October. It's still several weeks away, and that's a special event. I don't know. It's the only show where we have to sit through a Roman Reigns main event type deal.
See, that was a huge low point, was that six-man tag.
That was bad. Well, we knew that was going to be bad. The Shield beating Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman in that 6-man that I felt like it was going on forever. The total time on that was 19 minutes, 40 seconds.
It felt like it was 30 minutes. It felt way too long.
Oh, yeah.
The crowd was dead throughout most of that match. It just dragged. It wasn't fun to watch that, and it should have been because it started off exciting, but they couldn't keep that excitement.
Those 6 guys are the reason why I don't like watching Raw. The show is all about those guys. Their match was just nothing, and they're a real downer to Monday Night Raw. They're the reason why the show is what it is right now.
Well, that's sad because I think Braun Strowman is one of the must-see guys to see on Raw. He's one of the most entertaining guys.
He was.
He still is at times, but that's the problem. Only at times now. And now that he's supposed to be the top heel, you're not supposed to like what he's doing, but it's still impressive, and I think he's still a great character. And they should have never done this, but unfortunately we're going down this direction. Hopefully he can still regain his momentum and become the champion at Crown Jewel.
Well, that is the big match that they're selling. It's official. Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, and Roman Reigns in a triple threat for Roman's Universal Championship will be the main event at Crown Jewel on November 2nd, so we're kind of on the road to that right now. I don't think Braun's going to take the title at Crown Jewel, though. I think Roman is definitely retaining.
Unfortunately, it seems like Roman might just be champion all the way to Mania. That's really unfortunate, but let's change it up, please. Let's change it up.
Yeah, it would be great if WWE would change it up because the current direction of Raw with Roman Reigns on top, it's just not working out. And it's not what we want to see. Maybe some people want to see it, but I don't know. I don't know who those people are. I don't know where they are. The fans in the WWE crowds certainly don't seem to be that into it, and the ratings don't seem to be doing well. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just backstage that they feel this is the best course of action, right? SmackDown, on the other hand, the top of their show, excellent. Excellent. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe had match of the night at Super Showdown. Their match was the best. AJ attacking Joe's knee kind of giving out, and AJ focusing in on that. The 450 springboard he did right onto Joe's knee was just incredible. The accuracy to be able to hit you're spinning in the air, you're doing a 450 spin flip, and then you land perfectly on the guy's knee and you don't break his leg. It just shows you AJ Styles, just every little thing he does, phenomenal. He's so good. He's so good. He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Every time he steps into the ring, you're amazed. And the match with Samoa Joe, they've wrestled so many times that by this point you should be sick of it. But it's great every time. And this match may have been their best match that they've had against each other in the WWE. Not the best match they've had against each other ever, but I'd say in the WWE this was their highlight.
I like the SummerSlam match a lot. I mean, all the matches, the physicality, the level is extremely high, and this blew everything else out of the water compared to what you saw on the show. It was just unbelievably physical. I think he busted open AJ on just a clothesline. You could tell that they were not holding back too much whatsoever. It was just a lot of fun to watch from start to finish. And it's almost sad that it seems like they're moving on from this feud. But it makes sense. Like, they had the story where Joe was stalking his family, and now AJ finally got revenge. And considering it's going to be Daniel Bryan, I'm okay with them moving in that direction. Yeah,
AJ got Joe to tap out to the calf crusher. And now, like you said, it's on to Daniel Bryan. That's the big news, I think, coming out of this.
Yep.
The real big news for Crown Jewel is that Daniel Bryan will be facing AJ Styles for the WWE Championship at Crown Jewel because Daniel Bryan defeated The Miz in 2 minutes and 25 seconds with a clean, small package, 1, 2, 3, middle of the ring. It was pretty shocking. I was celebrating when Daniel Bryan won. Neither of us thought that Daniel Bryan was going to win. We figured Miz was going to find some sort of way because AJ Styles had already won, and it would make sense, AJ as the top babyface to face the top heel in the Miz. But no, Daniel Bryan won, and now it's official. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles will take place for the WWE title in Saudi Arabia.
When you look at the two title matches, it's like WrestleMania coming early. It's pretty much the main matches that you'd want to see.
It is.
It's going to be quite a spectacular event just off those two matches alone.
Can we just talk about the way Daniel Bryan beat The Miz, though? I don't want to skip over that. I think we should dwell on that for a while, how great that was. Bryan loses at SummerSlam because The Miz got handed brass knucks by his wife Maurice ringside.
Right.
Then they go for the revenge match. It's Bryan and Brie versus Miz and Maurice at Hell in a Cell, and Brie gets rolled up by Maurice, and Bryan and Brie lose the match. And now we were going into this thinking, man, it doesn't seem like AJ's going to lose a title. Miz beating Bryan by cheating somehow, or maybe even just beating him clean would kind of make sense to put Miz over to go on and face AJ. And instead we get this match where, Bryan didn't get very much offense in on The Miz.
Not at all, really.
He got really nothing in on him. And then all of us, because he was selling an injury to his ribs, right? Miz was beating him up. And you were saying, wow, this is like a squash match. This is not going well for Daniel Bryan.
It wasn't. He got hit with his finisher, too. Like, it wasn't good. It
was
looked like he was going to lose.
It was looking like it was not going well, and then all of a sudden, boom, rolls him up out of nowhere, which I think is great, because it just shows the technical ability of a wrestler like Daniel Bryan. He's got very good pins, He's really good at rolling you up and pinning you on the mat where you can't move. And once in a while, wrestling matches should end for that reason, not because the guy is so beat up that he can't lift his shoulder to kick out. I like sometimes when the guy puts you in a really nice hold and you're stuck and you can't get your shoulders off the mat. 1, 2, 3.
Well, it helped, too, because on this show, you didn't really see anything like that. A surprise kind of win. It was always like, behind the referee's back, or it was pretty much just set up perfectly for the finish. Something like this was completely unexpected, and it really worked because, again, we saw AJ win, so it really looked like Miz for sure was going to win. And this is a great surprise.
It's one of the best moments on the show.
Well, again, the match, not a highlight. You don't go back and think that was a great Daniel Bryan match, but a good moment for Daniel Bryan, I guess.
Well, not only because it means he wins the feud with The Miz.
Kind of.
What do you mean, kind of?
Technically, Miz beat him twice.
Well, Maurice won one of them.
His team won, right?
But
count that.
Miz never beat Bryan fair and square. And this is a fair and square match. Bryan beat him in 2 minutes, 25 seconds.
Miz is going to come back and say this was a fluke.
Whatever. It makes Bryan look strong in this match.
Ish. Like, he did, small package him. He didn't actually give him any moves. He just kind of got a win, surprised him, which is fine. But it didn't make him look like he was super strong,
But it does show you that a guy like Daniel Bryan can win at any moment. He's so dangerous, he could just roll you up, and then you lose. He could do that to AJ Styles and take the WWE title in Saudi Arabia.
See, that's where I have a hard time believing that. I don't find AJ, considering all that he's been through, these long feuds that he's been through, and then he's just going to suddenly lose to Daniel Bryan. I feel like there's going to be more to it than that. Especially because we have Survivor Series, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks after this show.
So?
I just feel
What are you predicting here? What are you saying?
Well, I don't think this is going to be the only match in a Daniel Bryan AJ Styles. I think this is going to just continue.
But couldn't it continue with AJ wanting his title back?
Maybe. But I'd be surprised considering AJ has gone through so many wars and now he's going to lose right away in his first new war.
How long has he been WWE champion?
Close to a year now. Because he won it, I believe, around this time. I want to say it was in early November. The first week of November. I think it was on a SmackDown in the UK.
I could tell you here in a second. We will find out and tell you. AJ Styles won the WWE title. I don't know. I'll tell you in a second here, Johnny. No.
Well, at the last Survivor Series, he wrestled Brock Lesnar, and it was champion versus champion.
Like November of last year.
Last year.
Yeah, so he has held it for nearly a year. Let's see. Brock Lesnar. Jinder Mahal. He beat Jinder Mahal, right?
In the UK, on SmackDown.
Yeah, November 7th of last year, he beat Jinder Mahal on SmackDown to win the title.
So less than a month away from being a champion for a year.
Yeah, it'll be nearly a year on November 2nd when he faces Daniel Bryan. So what, is AJ going to be champion forever? What are you predicting here? I mean, why can't Daniel Bryan beat AJ Styles at the Crown Jewel event and become WWE champion? Why not?
Does AJ really need to drop the championship right now? Is he that terrible of a champion? Are the ratings low on SmackDown compared to Raw?
Why not change things up? Like, would Daniel Bryan be such a terrible choice?
He's not a bad choice, but...
He's a great choice. He's the top star on SmackDown. We've been saying it over and over again on Wrestling Uncensored here, John. AJ Styles is great. He's a great wrestler. He's fantastic. But he's not the top guy on SmackDown. The top guy on SmackDown is Daniel Bryan.
Who just had the best match at Super Showdown?
Okay. Well, AJ Styles wrestled Samoa Joe, and Daniel Bryan wrestled The Miz. AJ Styles had 20-some minutes to wrestle, and Bryan had 3.
Not everyone gets a lot of time. It's what you do with it. You make the most of the time you have.
Well, I was very satisfied with what Daniel Bryan did with it.
I thought AJ did a better job with the time he had.
Daniel Bryan told a story in 2 minutes, 25 seconds.
AJ did too. Just a bit more time, but that's fine. He's the champ. He should. And they should just keep letting him run with the ball.
Until what? Until Randy takes it from him, John? Don't tell me that. Don't say that to me, John.
You know, I think Randy Orton in 2019 is going to be WWE champion. It's going to happen. Or Universal champion. You can't stop that. Randy Orton, more than like, I wouldn't be surprised if Randy Orton wins the Rumble. That would make a lot of sense.
Why? What are you doing to me? Why? What are you talking about? What's Randy Orton really doing?
We need someone.
What is Randy Orton doing? Is he feuding with Ty Dillinger? Like, what's his problem?
For now, he's breaking Dillinger's fingers.
Really?
Yeah.
That's his feud, Ty Dillinger. That doesn't seem like a guy going to wrestle for the WWE title anytime soon.
It's a guy that seems to me is going to win the Rumble for a third time and tie Steve Austin's record, and then go on to WrestleMania and become champion. But I prefer the Universal Championship because he's never won that yet.
Yeah. In your dreams, Shawnee North. In your Randy Orton-themed dreams.
Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 35. Let's go.
Come on. You don't want to see that for real, do you?
Yeah, I do want to see that. I really do.
Why?
Because I think that'd be a great main event.
Be a good story.
Yeah.
I don't really want to see it, though. I think the match itself would be pretty weak. Although, considering the alternative, which is the rumored The Rock versus the Roman main event for WrestleMania, Randy would probably get a better match out of Roman at this point. Probably, but you never know.
You got to look at Randy's last performance on pay-per-view. In my opinion, it sold the show.
The Hell in a Cell match with Jeff Hardy.
One of the best things we saw all year, in my opinion.
It was very good. It was a very good match. But, again, that's Jeff Hardy's in there.
He played a part. So did Randy.
He's one of the greatest of all time. Jeff Hardy.
It's very good, and I'm sure AJ can play a very good part with Randy as well.
So this is your ultimate plan? Like, really? This is what you would do? Because what I would do is I would put the title on Bryan at Crown Jewel. And then I would let Bryan run with it, give AJ the Royal Rumble, AJ wins the Rumble, and then gets a rematch with Bryan at WrestleMania.
The thing is, I feel Daniel Bryan and AJ, because Survivor Series is so close, they're more than likely going to do a rematch. So you're going to wear this out before you even get to Mania.
Survivor Series, they're on Team SmackDown versus Team Raw. Paige needs them to get along. So they'll put the rivalry aside because they're both baby faces and team together on Team SmackDown at Survivor Series.
Have to wrestling each other? Wow. I don't know about that.
What? They're both baby faces. Come on, man. You know how this works.
If the title switches hands, I definitely don't see them working together.
It's going to happen. That's my prediction. I don't really know. I have no idea. I would like Daniel Bryan to win the title, though. He's got unfinished business with the WWE Championship. There's things that he needs to do as WWE Champion. He had a run that was interrupted. That WrestleMania 30 spot when he won the title, his reign was so short-lived, and it's been such a journey back that if anybody deserves to be WWE Champion, if anybody is deserving to beat AJ Styles, it's Daniel Bryan. It's his time. He is the guy. Give him the title. What are we waiting for?
But wouldn't it make more sense for him to go to the Rumble and win the Rumble for the first time ever and then go on to WrestleMania?
And face AJ Styles after already losing to him at Crown Jewel?
Well, that's to say if AJ's still the champion. Randy Orton might come around first.
Oh, my God. You really want to interject Randy Orton in every one of my main event fantasies.
I really think Randy Orton might be the guy to beat AJ. Or Roman. He's one of the top heels right now in the company. You can't deny that.
He wasn't booked at Super Showdown. How's that for a top heel? Not even booked. Not even booked.
We didn't see Nakamura either. U.S. champion wasn't booked.
So Nakamura's not high on the list of priorities. I thought Randy was a top heel.
He is, but there's no feud for him right now. What are they going to do? Destroy Dillinger right away? It's too soon.
Haven't they already destroyed Dillinger?
He broke his finger. That's about it.
No, but I mean, was he ever a formidable opponent for Randy? Like, what? Ty Dillinger's been off SmackDown. He was like R-Truth's partner for a while. He was just jobbing to people. He's a jobber. And now I'm supposed to believe that this is the next challenge for Randy after Randy won a feud against Jeff Hardy, former WWE champion, future Hall of Famer, one of the greatest ever. Randy beats Jeff Hardy, goes through this big feud with him, and then his next feud is Ty Dillinger, who before feuding with Randy was not on TV? What? Get out of here. I don't believe in any of that. Ty Dillinger. I mean, nothing against the guy. He's Canadian, so I like him. But, like, come on. Where's he been? How am I supposed to believe that he's a credible opponent for the great Randall Orton?
I don't think it's about, if you believe that he could actually pose a threat to Randy. It's just, what terrible thing is Randy going to do to him now? That's what you're watching for.
I don't care. I don't care about Randy or anything he does. Charlotte Flair beating Becky Lynch by disqualification. I guess at Women's Evolution they'll have a rematch, right?
Yeah, and I feel like they may have already announced that, so I'm kind of disappointed.
Have they?
If they haven't, I think it's just obvious. I think people knew that was going to happen way ahead of time anyways.
It's probably going to happen. Ronda Rousey's going to defend her Raw Women's Championship against somebody. Who will that somebody be? Ronda Rousey was at the Super Showdown. She teamed with the Bella Twins to get the win over the Riot Squad, winning the match with a double armbar on Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan. Armbars on both of them, making them both tap out. There was a little bit of a disagreement between Nikki Bella and Ronda at the beginning of the match. Nikki wanted to start the match, and then Ronda wanted to start the match. So she let Nikki start it, but there seemed to be some sort of dispute there. Maybe they're teasing Nikki Bella being the next opponent for Ronda Rousey. That's been the rumored match, Nikki Bella versus Ronda at Women's Evolution. And at the end of the match, the Bella Twins were celebrating with Ronda. It looked like they were maybe going to attack her. It felt like they were going to, but they never did. But I could see that happening on Raw, leading to that match with Nikki versus Ronda.
Well, I just feel the timing wasn't there. I think a lot of this was just to put the matches on, put on a good show for the crowd. A lot of stuff like that was probably for like Raw, like you said, because we also saw something like that in the main event where there was a bit of action after the match was over. So I don't think they wanted to overdo it with all the matches where there's just brawling at the end.
That's it. They had a lot of it with that main event, which we'll get to, Triple H and The Undertaker, and I think you're right. They didn't want to kind of do it twice with an attack at the end of the match, right? But Nikki and Ronda, is that the match for Women's Evolution? Like, will Nikki Bella be the opponent for Ronda Rousey? It seems likely, but it's not certain right now, and we're like 3 weeks away.
Well, it was a very telling sign when you saw the disagreement. Why is there a disagreement? It led to nothing for now, but you have the feeling that since Ronda doesn't really have any clear challenger for the pay-per-view, it's more than likely going to be Nikki. Whether she's a face or a heel, I mean, people booed the crap out of her at the pay-per-view in Australia. I mean, I say make them heels because I think people don't like them.
The heel Bella's trying to take on Ronda Rousey. Like, Nikki will be the opponent, but Brie will be in her corner. And it'll kind of be a 2-on-1 situation to make you think, oh, maybe Ronda will lose here.
Well, to be fair, make it a handicap match because then I'd actually believe maybe Ronda could lose. If it was just 1-on-1, like, this should last 2 seconds. But a handicap situation, okay, there might be a challenge there.
Mm-hmm. Not a bad idea, but it's tough to do that for the title.
It's Ronda Rousey. Like, you watched it. She just plows through people.
But, I mean, how do you work a handicap match if it's for the title? Because if, like, say, Nikki wins, is she champion? How does that work?
It's like the New Day. You know,
Brie and Nikki would both be champion. Haven't they done that before?
When they used to look alike.
Yeah, they looked alike, and they both held the title. But then they... Oh, no, that was Lay Cool where they were co-champions, right? They had,
they had the half title.
They each had half of the title.
But what Nikki and Brie used to do is, like, one would come out with the title, and they'd switch in the ring. One would go underneath, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what they would do, the Twin Magic.
Twin Magic, which doesn't quite work anymore for some reason. Speaking of Lay Cool, Michelle's husband was in action, The Undertaker, and it was quite a match, and I think it's going to lead to another big match at Crown Jewel. We're going to get to that when we come back. Right here, we're on TSN 690. It's Wrestling Uncensored.
You're listening to the Ringside Report with AJ Styles, the phenomenal one.
Hey, this is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
What's going on, y'all? This is WWE Superstar Kofi Kingston, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
All right, welcome back. It is Wrestling Uncensored. I'm Dave Simon. He is Johnny North. You can follow us on all the social media things. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Dave Simon MMA. Follow Johnny North on Instagram at Genesis Johnny North, and follow him on Twitter at North Genesis. And, of course, WrestlingUncensored.net. WrestlingUncensored.net, the website for everything Wrestling Uncensored.
You're going to give a shout out to Kurt Angle for giving you that birthday message?
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Kurt. Good man.
I would have added some stuff, though, to that. I would have had Kurt add a bit more. Because it felt like he just said your name. He didn't know where you were from, by the way. He stated that. I don't know where you're from, but I'll give you tickets, though, wherever you are to a WWE show.
Yeah, that was an old message, actually. That was from a couple of years ago.
Oh, I see. Well, it makes more sense now because you think Kurt's kind of out of it. So he never gave you those tickets then, I guess?
Nah, I never hit him up for tickets.
Well, now you are. Hit him up now.
All right.
SummerSlam's coming up, right?
Yeah, Kurt Angle, I need tickets for SummerSlam.
Front row, right?
Buddy Murphy from Australia. That was a big moment for him, right? He won the Cruiserweight title in his home country. Big night for the Australians. Buddy Murphy won the Cruiserweight title, beating Cedric Alexander in a pretty good match.
It was pretty good. It's just the problem is it's on 205, and You just don't really care about the cruiserweights, unfortunately.
Yeah. And the Iconics beat Asuka and Naomi in about 6 minutes. The Iconics, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, also Australians, so that must have been nice for them.
Match sucked.
Yeah.
It was a really bad match.
Yeah.
Their finish is terrible. It's one of the worst tag team finishers I've ever seen.
Well, why are they cutting a babyface promo before the match? I mean, I get that they're in their home crowd, but we're watching this on the network. We're like, wait a second. Why are you so nice to... I guess they're only nice to the people in Australia?
Well, they just played up their character, and I guess their idea behind this was like, oh, well, they're going to cheer anyway, so just go out and just be yourselves. It sucked anyways.
Yeah, it wasn't great. That whole Iconics deal wasn't great. Bobby Lashley and John Cena beat Elias and Kevin Owens. Yeah, it was a lot of Elias and Kevin Owens beating on Bobby Lashley. Lashley looked exhausted after the match because he did all the work. Cena came in to hit 2 terrible shoulder tackles that didn't even graze Elias. And then, what did he do? He did a spin-out powerbomb. He did the You Can't See Me, 5-knuckle shuffle. He did the attitude adjustment. And then he hit this weirdo finishing punch thing that he's been working on in China because he's like filming a movie in China and he's trying to learn some new skills.
He calls it the 6th move of doom.
The 6th move of doom. Yeah, it was just a punch. It was really not impressive. And that's all he did. He did very little. His hair was really the highlight for me. Like, what was that hair he had? He looked like JBL or John Laurinaitis with that haircut. Looked like a corporate man haircut. It wasn't the John Cena crew cut that we're used to. He like let his hair grow out. He looked weird.
You got to understand, he's filming a movie right now, so more than likely that's his hair for the movie. So
yeah, he looked weird though.
He's a weird guy, John Cena. The promo too is just like, you know, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I don't know what's going to happen, but thanks.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what my future holds. I don't know what's going on. Thanks, everybody. He kind of made it seem like I may wrestle again. I may not. I'm not really sure. No one's really sure. Depends what I get offered. Depends how well my movie career does. I'll see you later.
To me, it's like he's pretty much done, but maybe if something works out, he'll come back and wrestle. But he'd rather not.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to. I think he definitely he will wrestle again in the WWE, but I don't know if he's going to ever come back and work on a weekly basis for an extended period of time. Like I don't think he'll work more than a month or a month and a half at a time to build a pay-per-view, and I can't see him ever work in just a normal house show loop ever again. Like the days of John Cena being a full-time wrestler are long gone.
I think this finally kills the talk of him coming back and winning that 16th title. I don't think that's going to happen now. Just him coming back for a match once in a while, that might be a rare thing. Him going for a title reign again? No. Never.
I don't think never. I mean, he's only like 41 years old. There's still a lot of time. I could see them giving him the title just to tie Flair's 16-time record in the future, in 5, 6, 10 years. Who knows? I could see them doing it. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
How many times did he wrestle this year?
Let's see. He wrestled at Mania.
Well, you can count the Rumble. He was in the Rumble, right?
Okay. Rumble.
He was also in the Elimination Chamber.
2. Mania. 3 against Taker, which was kind of a match, I guess.
It was something.
What else did he do? Did he go to the Greatest Rumble?
Yeah, against Triple H.
Oh, yeah, against Triple H, which was not really much of a match. And then here.
That's right.
5 matches. 5 matches in 2018. Well, he's not very active now, but who knows what he's going to do in 3 or 4 years. Who knows how well his movie career will actually do.
Well, that's going to depend a lot, right? If it's successful, highly doubtful he'll ever be champion again. If it doesn't work out so much, maybe he'll just be on Raw all the time.
It feels like they're treating Cena like Batista rather than The Rock, if you understand what I mean. Like, the WWE, when Batista became a movie star and everything, like, they'll have him back, but they kind of keep him at arm's reach, you know? Like, they don't really want him too close. The Rock, they want him. They'll do anything for The Rock. You know, he can come in, he'll win the title, he'll carry it for 3 months and not defend it or anything. That's cool, but they wouldn't do that for Batista. And I feel like maybe they're treating Cena in that way, where they're keeping their distance from Cena when he's going to the movies more than they would with a guy like The Rock. It's a bit weird the way they're treating Cena. Even the build for this match was like non-existent. There was very little talk of John Cena going into this one. And that may be because Cena kind of wants to do things for himself, and maybe he wasn't willing to show up on Raw. Maybe they wanted him to promote the match, and he didn't want to. I don't really know, but it does seem like the WWE is cooling on John Cena. They're not so excited about him or having him around.
To be fair, he went in there. He didn't have the bump whatsoever, and he won the match, and he got to do a promo. It's not like they're not doing him any favors whatsoever. He's still the star. It's just he's not the main star anymore. He's just one of the stars. Still a decent gig.
Of course. But it's interesting to see the way they're treating him.
He's not the man anymore. Fine. But that's the way it should be. You got to move on finally from John Cena. The John Cena era is over. People need to realize this.
Yeah, but I mean, how long did they treat Ric Flair like he was the man? You know, I mean, how long did they treat? They still treat Shawn Michaels like he's the man. They still treat the Undertaker, Triple H like they're the guy. You know. But Cena is kind of not getting that. Kind of like Hogan when he was on his way out. They're like, all right, now get out and stay out.
But with Taker, they realize, like, all he's got is wrestling. He's not going to go to something else. John Cena, he has something else to go to. It's a different situation.
They can't control him.
And regardless, you know, Taker still lost to Roman Reigns, much like John Cena. There's still guys that they'll push ahead. Just not a lot of guys. Elias and Kevin Owens, unfortunately not.
Yeah. I mean, we could go on and on about how great Kevin Owens is and how he deserves more than he gets, but, you know, what's the point at this point?
Well, at least he was on this. He wasn't on Hell in the Cell. So at least that was a step in the right direction. And he did not get pinned, at least.
Okay, so Elias took the fall. Yeah.
Well, look.
It's about all you can say.
If you're a Kevin Owens fan, like, you got to look for little things here right now.
Yeah.
Little victories.
Yeah, the big victories don't seem to be coming if you're a Kevin Owens fan. Triple H got a big victory. He beat The Undertaker.
He shouldn't have, but he shouldn't beat Sting either. But Triple H always wins these matches, so.
Why shouldn't he have won against Undertaker at Super Showdown?
Because he didn't need to. It doesn't put over Triple H any more than he already is. He's still already a star.
Yeah,
Taker needs it more because Taker, it feels like he's kind of washed up.
Yeah, but Taker beats Triple H all the time, all their Mania matches, everything. They even said it. This is the first time Triple H has beat Undertaker in 16 years. Triple H needed a win back, especially if they're going to set up the tag team match at Crown Jewel in November in Saudi Arabia, which it totally looks like, because Kane was at ringside for The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels at ringside for Triple H, and both guys got physically involved in a major way. Shawn looks great. Shawn is still moving great, taking bumps, going through tables. Kane went through a table. Shawn went through a table. These guys are ready to go. It's going to be Brothers of Destruction, Kane and Taker versus Triple H and Shawn Michaels, DX, one more time at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. Not official yet, but you got to figure they're going to make it official real soon. Could be as early as Monday night on Raw. After what we saw, Triple H getting the win over Taker, after Shawn Michaels hit like 4 super kicks on him. They put Kane through a table. They got rid of him. Michaels and Triple H went to town on Undertaker, beat him up, and then Triple H hit a real rough-looking pedigree on Taker for the pinfall victory. And then they shake hands, and they all kind of celebrate together, which didn't make a lot of sense because they were both doing some pretty dastardly things to each other during the match. But then, of course, the turn, Taker and Kane decide to attack Triple H and Shawn Michaels, and they put Shawn through a table, which was pretty cool. And I thought the match overall was good. It was very physical. It was hard hitting. Triple H was bumping around, and it looked painful. It looked rough on both guys. It looked like they were both going through something and giving themselves to the audience. And I think that's all you can really expect from these guys. I mean, Taker's 53 years old. Triple H's like 46, I think.
49.
Is he 49?
Yeah.
My goodness. So, you know, you can't expect these guys to be in their physical prime, not as quick or as smooth in the ring as they used to be.
They were not.
They were not that smooth. They got clunky at times, but my goodness, did they give their bodies, and they gave it 100%, and you can tell this was an important match for these guys. They main evented the show. There was a big build to it, and everybody, Triple H, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Kane, they all delivered. They all gave everything, and I was thoroughly entertained. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Well, when it comes to the effort level, I'll never question this match or the AJ Samoa Joe match. Finish-wise, I don't agree with Triple H going over, so...
Oh, come on.
No,
you never agree with Triple H going over.
But now they're also going to go over in Saudi Arabia.
Who?
Triple H and Shawn. They're also going to win that match.
Kane and
It's
Taker.
Shawn's comeback match. He's going to lose?
Mm.
You know, like Taker should have won this one. And then you set up Triple H and Shawn put the beat down. It should have been flip-flopped the way they did this, but...
Well, maybe Kane and Taker lose in Saudi Arabia, setting up a third match where Taker gets revenge on Shawn?
If they do Shawn Taker at Survivor Series...
Are they going to do that?
Why not? This is the Shawn comeback,
because they're both 53 years old.
But you said Shawn can go, no?
I think just seeing the bits of Shawn Michaels that we saw, that Shawn is the most physically fit guy among the four of them.
Kane looked pretty good, though.
Yeah, Kane looks good. But, like, Shawn's movement, the way he just kind of bumped around, the way he was moving, he looked a lot smoother than Triple H and Undertaker.
He's not 300 pounds.
That helps. He's not as bulky and muscular as those guys, right? But he looks good. He's Shawn Michaels. He's got no more hair. He shaved all his hair off. He's totally bald.
Not the chest.
His chest is not bald? I didn't see. Did he take off his shirt?
I'm pretty sure he got his shirt ripped a couple of times. You saw some chest hair.
All right, I wasn't looking at the chest hair.
Always look at the chest.
I know you're a chest hair aficionado. You could tell me all the guys in WWE who have chest hair, right?
Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. Yeah.
Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, is that it?
I feel like Randy at times, too, has got some chest hair.
Okay. How about Jinder Mahal? Doesn't he have chest hair?
Yeah, at times, too. I don't know what's up with guys with chest hair now. It becomes a thing.
You really don't like chest hair. This is something we were talking about while we're watching Super Showdown. Your distaste of all chest hair. Why? Why do you not like chest hair?
You just look at it. It's not appealing. Like you're just like, ugh, that's ugly. Chest hair. It doesn't look good.
And you're a professional wrestler, and you wax your chest hair, right? You get it waxed professionally, or you do it yourself?
No, I actually use Nair, actually.
You Nair yourself.
That's right, yeah.
So you burn the hair off.
That's right. It's painful as hell, but it's good for the look.
It's good for the wrestling look. And you said Drew McIntyre can have chest hair because he's a heel.
Yeah, it's fine if you're a
So
heel.
heels can have chest hair, but if you're a babyface, you better Nair that chest hair.
Heels can look ugly. It's fine to look ugly because you don't want people to cheer you. But faces, you got to look pure as gold.
So you think Drew McIntyre, when you see him, looks ugly, but if he would rip that chest hair off, super handsome.
I'm sure girls would agree.
I'm sure there are ladies out there that enjoy chest hair, and there are ladies out there that do not. I'm sure there is a mixed bag. Just like for anything else.
I'm going to bet that there's more that like it non-hair than more hair.
So you're saying that you think the majority of women prefer the no chest hair as opposed to the chest hair?
Agreed.
Well, that's what you're saying. You're agreeing with yourself, is what you're saying?
And that statement.
and the statement. I'm not making the statement. I'm not sure. I'm not making a proclamation one way or the other. I don't really have any feelings on chest hair. I don't really care about it in any way. And you have some very strong opinions on chest hair, which surprised me as we watched Super Showdown together.
Well, that's the fun part, too, when you watch the show. You can tell.
Xavier Woods has chest hair, too, doesn't he sometimes?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, it seems like I'm the chest hair aficionado here. What's going on?
Well, you watch SmackDown more than Raw. That's the problem.
I watch both shows.
Yeah, you're hating Raw more.
Does AJ Styles have chest hair?
Off and on.
Doesn't he?
Off and on. I mean, I think he tries to. Maybe sometimes it grows back too quick because he shaves more than likely. That's why. But he definitely tries. So you got to give him an A for that.
He's a babyface, so in your world, he should not have chest hair. What about Daniel Bryan? He's a pretty hairy guy. He's got a lot of face and head hair, right? But does he have chest hair, John? I don't know. I can't even picture him shirtless right now. I don't know. Maybe sometimes? I don't know.
Again, sometimes.
But he shouldn't because he's a babyface, right?
Well, for the most part, I'm pretty sure we saw him with no chest hair tonight.
I'm trying to think of great baby faces with chest hair, and I can't. I guess Brett was, always had that waxy look. Hogan, Steve Austin, The Rock. Macho Man. Didn't Macho Man? He was a scruffy guy.
There were moments, but definitely waxed a lot. But he also wear a shirt too, Macho.
Triple H too, chest hair sometimes, right?
Well,
Triple H.
He's a horrible human being.
Oh, and that's part of the package of being a terrible person.
Though not today, though.
Hitler, chest hair. Stalin, chest hair. All a common thread.
A little bit, yeah.
Have you seen Hitler naked?
I have not.
How do you know he had chest hair then?
You're saying it, though. You made the statement.
I'm just making statements here. Johnny North, are you excited for Triple H and Shawn Michaels to reunite? Like, will this be a one-time deal for Shawn Michaels? It's kind of it's a big deal, the fact that he seems like he's coming out of retirement, and he was bumping around at Super Showdown more than we have seen him bump around in several years.
If we get Shawn versus AJ in the end, I think it's fine, but if it's just to come back just to wrestle The Undertaker 2 or 3 times, it's going to be very disappointing.
How about Shawn versus Daniel Bryan?
I feel Shawn's still more of the face, though, and it's kind of an awkward situation. We put him up against a bunch of faces.
Shawn seemed like quite the heel during that Super Showdown match.
Cheered the most, I found, throughout the whole match.
People like him, but he was doing some very heel tactics. Like, Kane was being admonished by the referee, like, hey, Kane, don't get involved. And then Shawn Michaels, grabs a table and starts setting it up for Triple H. Shawn was cheating to help Triple H win. It
was an ODQ match.
Yeah, nonetheless, he was getting involved. So why did the referee stop Kane from doing it?
It was a weird.
It's clearly bad because the referee is telling Kane, don't do this, and Shawn Michaels is doing it, so Shawn clearly in the wrong.
For the most part, the ref tried to keep it a singles match until the ref got knocked out, right?
Yeah.
Twice.
If it's a no DQ match, what does the ref need to get knocked out for?
Because they couldn't end the match at that point.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's true. And it did look like they were both unconscious when Taker put him in his chokehold there, and Triple H put the sledgehammer to Taker's neck. It was a good match. 27 and a half minutes, nearly 28 minutes.
If you would have told me The Undertaker was going to wrestle more than 20 minutes in a match.
It was the longest match on the show.
It's pretty incredible. However, let's not forget, tons of salad dressing in that match.
Yeah, it was no DQ. Shawn and Kane were ringside doing a lot of work. They had help, but still, those 4 guys, they put it all on the line, and they had quite a performance in Australia this morning. And I'm excited to see what they do next. I was not disappointed in that match whatsoever.
I would hope people would watch Raw to find out what happens next with that. However, for the most part, the show wasn't that great, so I wouldn't be surprised if the ratings are still low.
Yeah, well, when you watch Raw, you know it's going to be about Roman Reigns, and, you You know what that's about. Now, I think one of the reasons why this show was good is because Roman Reigns wasn't the focus.
Nah, I found the Shield match, they played it up as it was a huge deal. Though Roman did not get the final pin in the end. They played up the Dean Ambrose storyline of, is he going to turn or not? And he got the pin.
He did not. He got the pin on Dolph Ziggler.
So this was really about Dean Ambrose.
They need to move some of those belts around. The fact that the tag team titles are held by who again? Ziggler and McIntyre. I thought it was Ambrose and Rollins. I kind of lost track. And then Rollins is the Intercontinental Champion, and then Roman's the Universal Champion. Like, all the Raw belts are tied up in those 6 guys. It's a bit much.
There was a lot of 10 matches? You wanted to have, 13 matches?
No, I'm just saying you need to spread it around to make the rest of Raw a little bit worthwhile, you know? Like, we have all these guys on Raw that mean nothing. An Intercontinental Championship, Tag Team Championships here or there would boost them and give them a reason to exist. Finn Balor is a great wrestler. He's a Raw talent. He wasn't even booked on this show. You saw how Kevin Owens was booked on this show. There are guys on Raw that need something, and when you tie up all the belts with the top 6 guys that are just stuck in their feud that seems like it's going on forever there with the Shield against the Ziggler crew or the Strowmans or, you know, what do they call them? The Hounds of Justice? Dogs of War?
I think the Hounds of Justice is the Shield. But
whatever. Yes. It's just too much, you know? So the rest of the Raw card, the rest of the Raw roster, they don't have much to do.
Well, this is why Raw had its own pay-per-view at one point. It definitely could support itself for 4 hours. SmackDown, not so much, and that's why they had to combine them. And this is the unfortunate part. Some people are going to get left off. I mean, as long as these pay-per-views are, there's only so many talent that can be on the show. And it sucks for Finn Balor because he's kind of in the in-between where it's like he should be on, but he's not really doing anything.
Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura were main eventing New Japan cards a few years ago, and now they're not even booked on this Super Showdown in Australia. It's sad because they're 2 very talented wrestlers.
Well, Finn got a Universal title shot, but he lost to Roman. So they've done that, and they moved on.
Yeah.
So it sucks for Finn, but there's nothing else for him right now.
Yeah, because we have to watch Roman wrestle Braun and Brock, I guess.
To be fair, I'd rather see that, actually, than Finn again.
Yeah, well, it's not so bad. The triple threat is pretty good. That Crown Jewel event looks fantastic already. If we're going to get DX against the Brothers of Destruction, we are going to get Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles for the WWE title. And we're also going to get Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Braun Strowman in the triple threat for the Universal Championship. That is a very good card. Right away, 3 top-level matches, like you said, could be WrestleMania matches. All 3 of them.
And we're going to have some sort of tournament for the World Cup, apparently.
So whatever that means.
Whatever that means. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a singles or a tag or
I think they're going to play soccer.
That'd be fun, but highly doubtful. But whatever they do with it, tournament style, that's interesting. Haven't seen that in a while. And it'd be interesting to see. More than likely, you're going to see guys that don't usually wrestle each other because they're going to keep it open to Raw and SmackDown.
And there'll probably be some guys that you've never heard of or never seen before and may never see again because at the last Saudi Arabia show, there was all sorts of guys that were in that Greatest Royal Rumble that we didn't know who they were, and we haven't seen them since.
I have a feeling we'll see the Daivaris again. We haven't seen the Daivaris since.
We see the fake Yokozuna again.
I would think so. Why not?
Because it was weird?
We got 10 more years of this. Let's just keep it going.
So the Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia is the next one on our calendar, November 2nd. Check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net, youtube.com/ringsidereport, DOTNET. WrestlingUncensored.net is our website. And, of course, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at Dave Simon MMA. Follow Johnny North at North Genesis on Twitter and Genesis Johnny North on Instagram. My Instagram and Twitter the same, Dave Simon MMA. And for more info on Johnny North's wrestling bookings, you can go to his Twitter or Instagram, or you could just tell us right now, John.
Well, November 3rd, I'm going to be wrestling in Danville, Quebec against Alex North. That's on
Alex North?
Yep. We've teamed actually together before. But
The North Brothers.
Yeah, we've teamed before, but we're wrestling each other November 3rd for FAW, Full Action Wrestling.
FAW.
Yeah, Danville, Quebec, November 3rd.
Cool. November 3rd. So the day after the Crown Jewel.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
What a weekend. What a weekend, Johnny North. So follow him on Twitter at North Genesis and Instagram at Genesis Johnny North. Follow me at Dave Simon MMA. I'll be back on Friday night for Ringside Report Radio. Oh, and don't forget, I'll be on YouTube right after the Conor McGregor fight. Yeah, Conor McGregor's fighting tonight. If you want to hear my thoughts post-show, post-UFC 229, go to youtube.com/ringsidereport.net, youtube.com/ringsidereport, DOTNET. I will be live on YouTube as soon as the McGregor fight is over to recap the action. Who won, Khabib or Conor? Check me out on YouTube right now. Go to my Twitter and Instagram, Dave Simon MMA, for all the info for the UFC 229 post show on YouTube, live right now.
Cool.
How about that? For Johnny North, I am Dave Simon, and this has been Wrestling Uncensored. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.